Good morning, guys. I'm here at home. This is going to be my first podcast for security relating matters. And let me introduce myself. My name is George. I used to own a security company before. It was called Delta Security Group, and it was a successful manpower supplier. During the time that I was running the company, I came across a lot of guards that they were looking to get a job in the industry. But my goal was always to match the right guard to the right contract. And unfortunately, a lot of the guards they used to just come in and they never used to pay attention on how they looked, how they presented themselves, how they talked, and that was a bit let down because those guards I could have personally put them into a venue and the owners would have been happy, but unfortunately, the first impressions were not what pretty much a professional employer would have wanted. So there's a few points that I like to stress out when you go for a job interview. Well, in your resumes are very important, but keep them short to the point. But always check on spelling. Little mistakes that you might forget i- to an employer, a potential employer, means a lot. And like at the end of the day, putting too much, you know, um, when you're trying to go screen through 50 or 60 resumes, you're gonna have to be able to go through very fast. And the things that employers really want, say if you're applying for a job for a licensed hotel, will be, of course, your previous job, years in security, um, weight, height matters, regardless whether people tell you it doesn't. It does matter because when you deal with venue, you want somebody who is physically, um, like stands above the crowd. The other thing is, when you go and meet an employer, talking too much about what you've done and big naming yourself, it ain't gonna get you brownie points. Um, I personally used to ring up their references and the companies that they used to work for, and you will get the info. But the security industry in Australia is very small, so everybody somehow knows each other. So I can always ring up another guard that used to work for the company. Somehow I used to know the guard that was interviewing for me, and I can get the info of whether the guard was good or not. But every employer, unless you're going through an employment agency, if you're getting interviewed by somebody in the industry, they will, the first 5 minutes, they'll be able to pretty much make a decision in the minds whether they're going to give you a chance to work or not. Uh, so pay attention to your resume and pay attention on what you say. Sometimes less is better. Um, like I said, that's a small, my first podcast. I'm gonna make some more podcasts, and I'm gonna discuss about issues within the security industry. And I would appreciate if you guys, like share the podcast and share your thoughts with myself and with other security professionals. And my goal is to see the security industry in Australia excelling. I would like us to get treated like professionals and not the weekend part-time casual job that most contractors think we are. Thank you very much for listening, guys, and I'll catch up with you on the next podcast. See you later.